Comic fam, someone got a steal of a deal. Let's get into it. Another week, another list, broadcasting through the powers of the internet from somewhere on spaceship Earth. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the Gempire, Gem from Gem and Collectibles. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Before we jump into this list, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because number 10 is a book that I'm personally specking on. It's Fantastic Four, issue 4, the first Silver Age appearance of Namor.
3 different grade points trending higher than their 12-month average. I want to remind the community about the most recent high-graded sales of this key Silver Age book. A 7.5 sold in June this year for $12,000, and then recently in July for $11,100, which seems down from the height that the book reached in 2021 during the comic boom. A 7.5 hit $17,500. Quite a steep decline. However, when you look at what the book went for in just 2019, the book was hitting $6,000 for a 7.5. So yes, the book has come down, but the book is up nearly double in 3 years.
And with Namor finally debuting in the Black Panther trailer, it makes me feel like the book has room to grow back to its former glory. Now, as Tom mentioned, no record-breaking sales yet, so my spec hasn't paid off yet, but we're seeing trends in the right direction. A 2.0 is up 1% over its 12-month average, selling for $2,996, just like the 4.0, which is up 3%, selling for $5,500.
The 5.5 is up 2%, selling for $8,000 this week. Comic fam, I gotta know in the comment section below, do you think that this is a prime time to invest in some subby? It'll enter you to win this Omni-Man Invincible #1 Tyler Kirkham variant, and Gem hit him with #9.
Yeah, it seems like you could have invested in any Submariner book, because number 9 on the list is Submariner issue #1, the first Silver Age solo series.
Inbound for Wakanda Forever in trailer, pushing up the average sales of multiple grades this week. However, I want to remind the community about the 2 9.8 sales that took place this year for near identical numbers. The first time it happened was in February, selling for $19,950. The second time happened just this past May for $19,200. I'm thinking this is more trickle-down effect.
The trickle-down effect is real. The 4.5 is up 23% above its 12-month average, selling for $530.
The 5.0 hit $592 this week. That is 8% up its 12-month average.
And then the 7.0 showing some serious gains, up 32% from its 12-month average, with the most recent sale of $1,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, say hi to Comic Butch at the list at number 8, Iron Man and Submariner #1. We're not done talking about Subby, damn it. Coming out in 1968. This is a standalone issue bringing together 2 different iconic runs in comics, Tales of Suspense and Tales to Astonish.
Now, we do have some above average sales, but there is a record breaker in here as well. We'll start with the 5.5. It's up 7% from its 12-month average, selling for $295. But this 6.0 is what broke record. It last sold for $540 in 2021, last year. It's up 3%, now selling for $557.
We got a record breaker! Comic fam, this is an underrated book, a #1 issue, and we have a 7.5 that's trending 8% higher than its 12-month average since we've seen Tenoch Huerta as the Submariner, as Namor, now selling for $479.
And then the 9.0 got in on the action. It's up 10% from its 12-month average, selling for $1,000.
So many numbers to digest, Comic fam. I don't know how you can keep up with all of them. I can barely do it. Actually, I have an idea. You can utilize a tool found in your utility belt. If you have a cellular device, it's available for both Androids and iPhones. It's called Key Collector Comics, the best comic app in existence. Utilize code TOM101 on the app to support the show, but get access to a wealth of comic book data, including the HOT10, where we script this video from that comes out days before our video releases. At the list at number 7, Incredible Hulk #1, the first appearance of the Hulk, Bruce Banner, Rick Jones, and Betty Ross.
And we have some monster sales to report on for this blue chip Marvel key. We'll start with the 1.0. It didn't break record, but it came in with its second highest sale ever, just shy of that $10,000 record, selling for $9,234.
That right there is very close to breaking a record for a very low grade copy. I think this book is essentially per point $10,000. Then mid-month, we also have to mention a 4.0 record breaker, last selling in 2021 during the height of the comic boom for $15,600, up 146%, selling for $38,400. Hot damn. Those are some gains.
Yeah, that seems like price correction to me, but we have to talk about this 7.0. It sold for $84,000 just back in November, and it's up 9%, selling for $91,500.
Moving over to number 6 on the list, I think a member got a heck of a deal. Star Wars, The Clone Wars, issue number 1. The first appearance of Ahsoka Tano.
This is a book that couldn't stay off of our list when it was rumored that Ahsoka Tano would show up in The Mandalorian. Not only did she show up, she made such an impression that her own series began filming in May of 2022 and supposed to be released next year.
Not only do we have record breakers to discuss, we got to talk about a newsstand sale because someone got a steal of a deal. We also have a variant comic book to mention. However, we got to also point out that this was very low printed. A low 24,500 is estimated to exist.
Now, there's a few different versions of this book, so we're going to start by talking about the Dave Filoni variant, limited to just 1,000 copies. A CGC 9.8 is up 5% over its 12-month average with this new sale of $11,500.
$11,000 for a modern book. However, our benchmark to base that off of is the Djevic variant, the 1 in 25, which has exceeded $30,000 this year alone. Now, granted, that book is more wanted than Ahsoka Tano's first appearance. However, which is more scarce? There's a hell of a lot of Miles Morales' first appearances compared to this one. Let's look at the direct market copy, because a 9.6 is outpacing its 12-month average by 6%, selling for $1,329. And we also have a 5.5 breaking records this week, last selling in 2021 for $395, up 11%, now selling for $440.
The newsstand broke record as well. A CGC 9.2 sold for $1,075 back in May. It's up 53%, now selling for $1,650.
And then we have the 9.8 sale, a newsstand. This is incredible. So let's do some math. 25,000 approximately cover A's exist. Under 5% of the run would have been a newsstand for this comic book. That leaves a lonely 1,250 comics printed in existence. And now we have to look at all the ones that didn't make it, the ones that lived on those stands, and find the 9.8 copies, clearly lower print than the 1 in 25. The last time one sold was in April 2021, and it sold for $13,800. And this week, we saw a sale of $7,500. Hot damn! That seems like the book is down. However, one thing that we have to look at is GPA, which clearly shows the $13,800 sale recorded, but in the wrong slot. They notated the newsstand sale, the height, under the direct market category. Thus, it doesn't have any record of any newsstand sale at 9.8 visible. I suspect this lack of data on GPA led to some members underestimating the sale of this book and grabbing it for a hell of a deal.
It sounds like GPA might have cost the seller about $7,000. Moving on to number 5, we're not done with the Iron Man goodness. We have Iron Man number 1, the big premiere issue from 1968.
Riri Williams in the Black Panther trailer. Clearly, this legacy character's keys are getting a lot of love. We have a 2.5 that broke records this week in September, selling for $495, up 11%, hitting the $550 marker.
We also did get announcements for 2 more Avengers movies, so maybe collectors are assuming we're going to get Iron Man back or some type of recast. Either way, a 5.0 is up 7% from its 12-month average, selling for $725.
The 5.5 sold for $900 this week. That's 18% over its 12-month average.
The 6.0 is up 5% over its average, selling for $900.
And then we have an 8.5 that's up 17% over its 12-month average, selling for $2,476 this week. And the next book on the list, getting hot as all hell, is number 4, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, issue number 8. This right here is the origin of the black symbiote that would later become Venom after bonding with Eddie Brock.
And as I just mentioned, we're getting 2 more Avengers movies. We're getting Secret Wars to end Phase 6. And yeah, it's going to be based off of Hickman's Secret Wars, but perhaps they're going to do a combination of both. If you remember, at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, we had a little symbiote left behind as Eddie Brock was transferred back to his universe.
If they're bringing Secret Wars to the screen, it has to happen. We will see whatever version of Spider-Man. They have plenty for the picking to don the costume for the first time, possibly on Battleworld, but it doesn't matter. If this scene takes place, this issue, which is already iconic, is going to see even more gains than it has already gotten over the last couple years.
And fun fact, this is the first book that I ever submitted to CGC.
We got to start them with the newsstands. This book is on fire. 9.4 and 9.0s are higher than their 12-month average. And a 9.6 clocked in its 3rd highest record sale of all time, hitting $600. And I'll remind the comic fam, the only 2 higher sales recorded are $625 and $641. It's essentially selling for the same amount.
Now, the 9.8 newsstand set the bar last week with its all-time record high of 2,300. So the 3 new sales this week came in at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at 2,160, 2,100, and 2,025.
Wow, so many sales this week, and we're not stopping. Let's talk about the direct market copies. We have an increase over the 12-month average in not just the 7.5, but the 8.0 and the 9.6. And the 9.2 sold for $330. The all-time record was $329, so we do have a record breaker.
The CGC 9.8 Direct Edition had a high sale of $979, but there were 17 sales in total.
Comic fam, typically when we're reporting on 9.8s, there's 1, maybe 2 sales that take place because this is near $1,000. That's a lot of money. Doesn't happen often. But seeing 17 sales this week clearly shows investors are hungry. All they had to find out was the future of the MCU Phase 6, and it's not stopping because at number 3 on the list, we have Tales of Suspense 94. Ant-Man Quantumania is going to feature Modoc, so his first appearance is back on the list.
With an 840% increase in copies sold, we saw a multitude of grades selling over their 12-month averages from 4.0s to 7.5s.
The 8.0 nearly matched its all-time high, just shy of $10, selling for $600. Again, essentially the same thing.
A 6.0 broke record, last selling for $295 back in November, up 23%, now selling for $364.
And what's this? There was an additional $315 sale, marking not just the new record, but the 2nd highest record in the same week. Jem, hit him with the 9.2.
The 9.2 also saw its 2nd highest sale of all time, coming in at $1,329, just shy of that $1,395 all-time high.
If you enjoy what we do, give me an excuse to send you comics every single month. ComicTom101.com. 1 per box. We have a Gambit #1 Peach Momoko cover, trade dress, and virgins going out at random, but everybody will get 1 single issue in their box if you subscribe by the 15th of August. It's written by Chris Claremont. ComicTom101.com to join the community, and at the list at number 2, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #1. We're not done talking about Marvel's first ongoing event comic book, debuting in 1984.
I don't know which one is more iconic, Secret Wars 1 or Secret Wars 8. I love them both, and we have second printing record breakers to discuss first. A CGC 9.6 sold for $230 back in January. It's up 13%, selling for $260.
And we also have a 9.8 selling for $729 in August, up 119% this week, selling for $1,600. And there was an additional sale for $1,200. This book was flying off of eBay, and it's all because of the San Diego Comic-Con news. Keep in mind, you can tell the difference between the second and the first printing by looking at the Spider-Man emblem. If it's in all black, you got a second printing on your hands.
We got a CGC 9.8 newsstand record breaker to discuss. It sold for $1,000 even just last year, and it's up 20%, selling for $1,199.
Another record-breaking sale for a newsstand, and we have a 9.8 standard direct market copy to discuss. This book hit $960 in 2021. It's up 9% with an all-new record of $1,050. And I find that curious because $200 more for a newsstand means that a member likely got a steal of a deal. Hot damn, comic fam.
That $960 high was actually broke 10 times this week with sales between $960 and $1050.
And some members may look on GPA and see a $1,200 sale and a 9.8 direct market copy. But when you look at the book by clicking through, you will actually find out that was a newsstand comic book. Not trying to beat up GPA. We use GPA a lot, but this is how prices can get a little confusing and sometimes cause deals. We got to make these prices make sense, comic fam. Hit the like, slap the subscribe, and at the list at number 1. The number 1 hottest book in all timelines, in all multiverses and microverses, we have Avengers number 8. Debuting in 1964, the first appearance of Kang the Conqueror.
I mentioned the 2 Avengers movies. We talked about Secret Wars. The prior one will be the Kang Dynasty, so Kang is back on the list with a slew of high-performing books and some record breakers. We'll start with the 1.8, which is up 4% over its 12-month average, selling for $505.
The 2.5 hit $650 this week. That's 5% over its 12-month average. The 3.5 hit $895, which is 10% over its 12-month average. And we're not stopping there. The 6.0, it hit $2,049, comfortably above $2K. That's 11% over its 12-month average.
The 8.0 sold for $42.50, which is 2% above its average.
And then we got some record breakers. The 1.0, an intro copy in 2020, that would sell for $162. Under $200. This week, an increase of 209%. We have an all-new record of $500 for a 1.0. Hot damn.
We got to talk about that 9.0. It sold for $4,652 just last June, and it's up 74%, selling for $8,100.
An increase of over $3,000. Kang the Conqueror is in the horizon, and I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about these sales? Do any of these books landing it on the Hot 10 make you want to spec on any other books? Help your fellow community members, and as always,
Geek responsibly and stay minty fresh.
Nothing said. Oh my goodness, I'm heading to Chicago this week with Gem Mint.
It's your boy Gem Mint.
And so many other of my homies. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on the best new place to buy and sell collectibles, Whatnot. Available for both Androids and iPhones. Dollar start auctions that last as little as 15 seconds long. And I'm doing over $2,000 in giveaways. You're gonna wanna be there. Oh, we have 2 other videos for you to check out. So much comic book information, a wealth of knowledge for you. Enjoy. We made it for you.